in the mortgage protection arena for I think 10 or 12 years now. It's been quite a while. But we first met probably 5-6 years ago on a case that he was having trouble with, and after poking around a little bit and finding out what he was doing in the mortgage protection arena, I decided it was something that we really needed to get out to the general agents out there. We're going to talk about it a little bit today, and David's he's going to show you what we're doing to generate some crazy numbers. A couple of things I want to point out, and every summer we see the numbers rise. This is a time where people are buying houses, they're refinancing, they're off for the summer. The realtors are busy, banks are busy because everybody's buying houses. The school's out, so this is the time to get into this marketplace. We see some crazy results on these mailers. In one case, I think it was a 12% response rate, which is unheard of these days. But the way that David is showing our guys how to actually do the mail-in, beat everybody into the mailbox it's something that I've never seen. So it's something you want to take a look at. This is the time to get into the mortgage protection business because so many agents are tired of buying overpriced leads. So there's fewer and fewer agents in this market for competition. So just dig in, listen to what David has to say, have an open mind, and hopefully we can do some business together. One thing I want to mention before I do turn it over, though, next week we are taking 40 folks over to Cancun, Mexico as our 2014 Ogletree Producer Conference. Crazy number, another one there. The biggest that we've had so far. And it's a real easy trip to hit. I don't know if we have a slide on this, David, but we're going to the Now Sapphire Resort in the Cancun Riviera area. All it took was $50,000 in premium to go. Next year we're going to go to Aruba. It's going to take a little more. It's going to take $60,000, but it's going to be a great trip. We want to work with you. Give us a call after the program, or complete the email form, application form on the website, and let us talk to you about moving forward. So, David, with that being said, I'm going to hand it on over to you, and let's talk about mortgage protection.
Okay, Doug, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our call here today. We're going to take about 20 minutes. I've got some slides here. Hopefully you're seeing this on your computer. We're going to take you through and show you what it is we're doing. And, what Doug was just talking about, our trips. 1 week from tomorrow, we will be going to Cancun. And looking forward to that. That's going to be really exciting. I've never been there before myself, so I'm looking forward to it. Taking the whole family down. And the trips are really, really easy to qualify for. I mean, if you're serious in the insurance business and you're really writing some business and making some money, $60,000 of annualized premium is not that much to accomplish. We're talking an average of $5,000 a month. So I'll tell you right now, we have agents doing the program you are about to see that are averaging over $20,000 a month in annualized premium. So it's doable. It can be done. We look forward to talking to you about it. I know many of you have already tried to reach me. My phones have been just on fire. I'm trying to get to everybody. I got lists and numbers. If I have not talked to you yet and you have called and left me a message, please bear with me a little bit longer. I will be getting in touch with you as quickly as I can. Moving along, our website is www.tmip101.com, the Turnkey Mortgage Protection Lead System. Basically, if you see here on the screen, is your system, the current system, broken? I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. These are some of the things that I've experienced with working with some of the past companies I have. Lead cost being anywhere from $30 to $60 per lead. Well, I need to revise that because I've recently brought on a couple agents in Maryland and in Texas, and they were both paying $60 and $70 a piece, respectively, for their mortgage leads. So these things are getting more expensive. Marketing is getting more expensive. I feel that you need to run, at least 10 or 12 of these a week on average to write a decent amount of business. And, you times that times $60 or $70, you're looking at a large lead bill every month before you get to keep any of your money. So what we have is going to be of real importance to you. Pay attention, take some notes. Since you are on the call and you did register, you will get a copy of this too in your email shortly after the program. Next question we had for you here, are your commissions down? I've talked to a lot of agents who are working on some of the most unbelievable commissions. I don't understand how they can survive in the business with, but we offer top commissions. As everybody does, we all need more qualified leads to get in front of people. This one I put in here, do you lack control in your business? I'll explain that a little bit more here as we move along. For me, I had no choice. I had to find a better way to get in front of prospects needing mortgage protection. As a producing agent, I had to free myself from being a slave to the national lead companies. I needed a plan that I could control myself that was customized for me and my budget. By doing this, I got rid of all these crazy expenses, not only the leads, but with these companies that I was affiliated with in the past. There were club fees, there were convention fees, book fees. I mean, you name it, there was a fee for it. And it just turned out I was giving back more than half of my income to cover these expenses. And I was a manager, so I had to set the example and show that I was doing it. And, you know, of course, it cost me a lot to do that. But anyways, as my production grew, so did the expenses, and I wasn't making the money that, you know, I was promised that I would make. When it came to running appointments, I was always in competition with other agents from my same large national agency. There were times when I'd show up on an appointment and there would be another agent there. These so-called A-leads that were being sold to us are, you know, with these other companies, they're constantly being sold over and over. That was the issue that I was having. I would buy what I thought was an exclusive A-lead, and turns out that lead's been sold 2 or 3 or 4 times already. The expenses just never stopped. And unfortunately for me, near the end of my tenure with them, all these fees and agent debt had to be absorbed by me. I had a lot of roll-ups that hit me. The system just wasn't set up. It just didn't work well. And it was a really, really tough lesson for me to get through, but I managed to make it through. And now I have positioned myself in a much better way to really succeed with the new system. And as a producing agent, I'm here to tell you this can work for you the same way. You won't be strapped to such expenses anymore if you're looking to work our program like we do. You know, no more sweating over huge lead bills or having to worry, you know, about other agents soliciting the same leads. So I'm confident that I've got a program here that we've got nailed down to an art. I've been doing it for 5 years. I've tried just about every little thing that you could imagine. We tweak it here and here, you know, from time to time just to see if we can improve the results always. But I think we've got it nailed down pretty good. And just so you guys know, this is all I have done since 2004. As you all know, there's many facets of the insurance business that we could be focused on, and doing annuities or Medicare supplements or health insurance or final expense or whatever, but this is my main focus. This is all I do. I don't do this and 10 other things. So I feel I'm as good as anybody in the business on it. I think we've got it down really good. I think you're going to be really impressed with what you see here. TMIP's commitment to you, first of all, turnkey lead system that can work anywhere in the country. We have exclusive leads delivered right to you from the prospect. Our average lead cost range about $10 to $25, and it really comes down to the response rates that we get in your area. If you're following our program pretty closely, I can give you an example. Our top producer averages just a little bit under 5% response, and I believe the last time I talked to him, he told me his leads were averaging about $16 to $18. So it just depends, but it's still far below what you're going to be able to buy out there in the retail market when it comes to a mortgage lead. Follow our system and be the first to contact the prospect. Any of you folks on this call have ever worked mortgage protection, you should well know that everything, it's all about being first. That's completely the whole entire thing. You know, if you call some of your leads and you're the first one, great. You've got a good, warm person probably to talk to. They're responsive, you know. But if you're the 4th, 5th, or 6th person that's already, you know, that's contacted them, chances are their attitude towards you is going to be quite different, and you're not going to get very far with them. So with our system, we guarantee just about always you're going to be the first person to contact them. Controlling your territory with this strategy. We have a great way that we manage this where we can simply annihilate our competition. It really, really works well. I won't go into detail with that, but we'll share that with you once we get talking to you on a one-on-one basis. Low out-of-pocket expenses, that's what it's all about. Everything about our business is your out-of-pocket expenses. And marketing, to me, by far is the most expensive expense that we come across. I mean, you gotta have people to talk to. You got to be able to get in front of people to do your song and dance. You know, how you get there, you know, there are many ways, and this is, you know, one of many. But with ours, I'm telling you, when it comes to the mortgage protection, you can operate at a fraction of what anybody else is doing out there. We have web-based training, 24/7, personalized coaching. We also have the producer conferences in places like Mexico, like Doug was just talking about. We just came back from Miami a couple of months ago, California. We've got some great trips coming up. This one that we're going on next week to Cancun is our producer trip through Ogletree Financial. But the companies, the insurance companies, also have their trips as well. And a lot of the qualifications for annualized premium run along the same. So, you know, chances are if you write a lot of your business, for instance, with our company, Transamerica, you qualify for their trip, you just about automatically qualify for our trip as well. So you kind of get two trips out of it there. So it's really a great thing. We're looking to bring a load of people. We already got a load of people coming this year, and like Doug said, this is the biggest year ever, but it's going to get a lot bigger because these numbers are easy to qualify when you got a program to work like we have. Okay, right in front of you now, you should see this that might look familiar to you if you've ever worked a mail-in mortgage lead. This is the typical format. Many companies out there claim they're the ones that pin this. I don't really know who did. I know the company I used to work with, they claimed they were the ones that, you know, created this format, but that's not the case. But anyways, this is what we use. We had a little twist to ours, and just real quick, if you'll notice in the middle of the lead, I know it's a little squatty looking here because we had to fit it in here, but we have that magical little thing in the middle that says living benefits available. And most of these lead templates, like what you're looking at here, a lot of them say basically they'll cover the death benefit, they'll pay your mortgage off. And that's all fine and dandy, and then just about everybody you talk to these days has life insurance. But we put this little benefit in here and tweaked our mortgage lead template here a little bit because we've got products that fit this now. Our Transamerica LB product, the Living Benefits, it's a fantastic product. It's their best-selling term product. It's our #1 selling product. This fits really good for that. And we have in here the chronic illness, the critical illness that pays up to 90% toward your mortgage. I mean, this is the stuff that people really, really want. You could talk to anybody about this stuff. But this is what I think helps to bring our returns in so much better. By adding the living benefits in there, we actually increased our return, our response rate by nearly a percentage point, or right about. Some areas was a little bit more, some was a little bit less. Now, what you're looking at here is a generic lead. There are disclaimers your state may require, so keep in mind, we're just showing a basic generic lead, but you know, other states do require disclaimers at the bottom, or some states do not allow, like the mortgage name or the mortgage amount to be on the lead. You'll have to check with your state to be sure that your lead template here is compliant by putting on or taking off what's supposed to be on there. We can sort of help you with that a little bit. We're familiar with some of the states, not all of them, but it's not hard to find out. Moving along, the time is now. We have been perfecting our mailer program for over 5 years, and we are ready to expand our operations into new parts of the country. We want to offer this system to you for free, so we want to talk to you about forming a business partnership. There are 2 main options available with what we're doing right now. The first option is the 100% hands-on lead mailer program. You produce the lead from start to finish. Now, keep in mind, this involves you doing a mailer. And don't take it like we're not talking about doing a 1,000-piece mailer on your own. Our agents, on average, are mailing between about 150 to as much as about 300 pieces of data over the course of a week, each and every week. So it's a whole lot less. It's not too much to handle. It does require some extra work on your part, but to us, this produces by far the best lead because it is. I'm sorry, I had a thing in the way there. Because the data is fresh, we get it out right away, and way before the competition, and it's the cheapest to produce. Okay. Now, not everybody may be set up for something like that. So Our second option is our turnkey 1,000-piece mail drop in your area. You get every lead that's produced. There are no resales. You don't have to worry about someone else getting your leads because we take care of all that for you. You get the leads directly to you. I think the cost is $450 for 1,000. You tell us what areas you want to mail. We'll drop it for you. All you do is pay it and wait for the leads to come in. So those are your two options, or as number 3 says, a combination of the two. Now, one other thing I put in here I want to mention, we are currently running test pilot programs in certain areas of the country to develop additional sources for lead generation. The reason our program works so well is that we do it from the local standpoint. I'm located in Mississippi. I do not handle your lead program, nor do I mail from my state. Every agent that we have on board that does this generally does it from their own turf, from their own home, backyard, whatever. That's how we beat the competition into everybody's mailbox. This week we got our data. We mailed it out on Wednesday. And I'm sorry, that was last week. That's happening this week. We're getting our data this week. We're going to get it together. It'll be mailed out today. Guess what? It's going to be in everybody's mailbox tomorrow. And this will be data that we just got today. I'm not doing it, obviously, because I'm on the phone talking to you fellas, so I have an agent doing this for me right now, but that's what we do. Ours we do once a week, and it's really good because we get the information out, we get the letters out quicker than anybody else. Most of the times when we get these leads back in and we call them, a lot of times they haven't even received any other offers in the mail. So we have them all to ourselves. On the pilot programs I'm talking about here, we're working on trying to get the data for you, and we do have some areas where we can actually get the data for you so that you don't have to worry about that, and then we can get it right to you, and all you have to do is the other couple parts to put it together, mail merge and folding and mailing it out. It still works really good. There's a lot of details in between all this, but I'm just trying to make it clear to you what we have here to offer. Either way, we got the leads for you. We can produce leads for you just about anywhere. Okay, on the 100% hands-on approach, by contracting with us, we will set you up with our turnkey lead mailer system that generates up to a 10% response. Now, I've literally had agents hang up on me when I've told them this because they don't believe me. They think it's a scam, and that's okay, but it's true. We average 5% response across the country. Some states are way worse. Some states are better. Where I live and what we pull on our mailers, we pull about 10%. Sometimes it drops down to about 8. Sometimes it goes up to about 11 or 12. We have a couple rural counties that we don't mail all the time, but 3 or 4 times a year, that actually pull upwards of 15, 18%. Just because of the way we set up our letter, the envelope, there's a couple things there that we do that just make it really good, that make them want to fill it out and send it in. That's all I can tell you about it, but it's really a great response. So that's why we're looking at trying to get you to mail between 150 to 300 pieces of data, because on a 5% return, well, you're looking at anywhere 7, 8, 10 leads, 10, 12, 15 leads a week, and I think that's what you need to, each week to write, some good business. This puts you in control of your leads and the flow of your leads for your designated area. This was important. I never realized how important it was to me until I started doing it, but I have control of my lead program. I will never again ever be a slave to a lead company. I don't have to worry about it because I know what to do now. I go out and I can make it happen. If I want to work more leads, I just need to mail more if it's available. But I mean, it's just a great peace of mind knowing that I have control of this and what I do, and seeing the results. And I can go into more detail with that later. I'm not going right now, but it's just a great program. Depending on your area's response, as I was saying before, your per lead cost could be as low as $8 to $10 for each of the absolute freshest leads available. The system requires more work on your part, but can be well worth it for you regarding your bottom line expenses. This option does require you to do your own mailer in your own specified area, as I was explaining earlier, and I just wanted to get that point across. I know that's not for everybody, so for those that don't have the time or the infrastructure to do that, again, we do have the 1,000-piece mail drop that we can do for you. But either way, you have total control over your data selection, your amount of data that you mail, as well as receiving the original leads back directly from the prospects to your personal P.O. box. Nobody ever sees your leads but you. And that's the real cool thing. You don't have to worry about these things being sold to somebody else, resold over and over. You actually get the original lead that they filled out back. So I think that's pretty cool. So why does the system work? Well, our team is totally committed to growing your mortgage protection business. This is not just something that we're trying. We have a track record now with over 100 agents currently working the system to prove it each and every day. The weekly training webinars that we have, the one-on-one coaching will help you to propel to your best in 2014. Any given territory should be able to produce, we're saying between 8 to as many as 20 leads per week. I'm sure most of you guys could use some extra leads. That's why you're on the call in the first place. We will help you to develop your area to its maximum potential. Each area is its own entity. It has its own circumstances, so there's a lot to talk about there, which we will when we eventually get to, talk with you one-on-one to see what we have for you. This is a team, myself and my partner Jimmy Pyron. We've been working together. We both got into the business, so ironically, at the very same time, actually got recruited by the same manager at the same time for at least 2 or 3 weeks before we finally met up. And we knew each other before, but this was really kind of a neat thing. We got in at the exact same time. So we've both been working it since 2004. That's strictly on the mortgage protection. We've both been in the business since the early 90s. Specializing in mortgage protection though since 2004. We have continually weathered the storm to come out on top, even during the recent housing collapse. And for us, we see nothing but blue skies ahead. We hope that one of us can be your personal coach and help you get going and make a great recipe for success there. So partnering with us, we will help you to take your production to the next level this year. And if you're ready to take that step, the best way to get started, and many of you already have, is to go to our website at www.tmip101.com. On any of the pages that you pull up, at the bottom there is an apply here button, I think it's called, and you just click that, and it will take you to a form that we're going to ask you to fill out. Now, many of you have already done that, but for those of you who have not, we ask that you please fill it out in its entirety. The least amount of information is probably going to get pushed to the back of the stack, and we're calling on those because this sheet tells us a lot about you and what you're doing, who you're currently with, if you're able to move and write the business under us. This is not an independent lead program that we are just offering to anybody out there on the market. We are recruiting to our companies because we want to build production with our companies. We're willing to turn you on to this program, train you, get you set up. I mean, everything is turnkey about it. We just ask that you place that business through us. And so that's what we're looking for. If you have any questions, more information, the TMIP 101, you can email us at info@TMIP101. And as you see there, my number, you probably heard it blinking a minute ago because it does quite often. My phone number, 228-896-2801. That's the end of the program, folks. Thanks so much for being on. We look forward to talking to you. And for those of you who already have calls into me, please hang tight. I'm working down the list as fast as I can. Jimmy and I both are. You'll be hearing from one of us, and we're getting through them as quick as we can. So thanks so much for being on the call again. Doug, that's it.
All right, buddy. Thanks, guys. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you.